Hello, and welcome to my new Ultimate Iron Man series. Before I start, I'd like to give a little bit of my background in RuneScape. I've been playing the game since 2005, and have around 14,000 hours played in both versions of the game. I was really invested in Iron Man mode from 2015 to 2017, and was around rank 100 before I mostly stopped playing and decided to do something more productive with my life. I ended up putting 6,500 hours into a similarly grindy game instead, but that's kind of besides the point. I finished off maxing my Iron Man slowly from 2017 to 2021, playing in small chunks of usually less than a month at a time, with large breaks in between. With a new skill potentially coming out in the not-so-far future, I decided it would be a good time to go for max on an ultimate as well. To make it even more interesting, I decided I wanted to challenge myself by doing it 199 at a time. The idea of doing 99s one at a time isn't a new one, and a few other YouTubers like Shano, Sune, Vestra Mattis, and Ironfishin have similar series, but I couldn't find any Ultimate Iron Man series that have been updated recently, and the idea sounded like something that would be fun to attempt. Alright, let's get into my rules. I'll be leveling skills to 99 one at a time. Any skill that I've leveled to 99 will be considered unlocked. I can use my main Iron Man to help the process. I will not be using help from other players besides my main Iron Man. With that out of the way, let's get this started. And here is my fresh Ultimate Iron Man account. Only train 99s. This name didn't stick, and I actually name changed twice during my first grind, after I realized I had enough room to just add a space to my regular Iron Man's name. A good use of $14, I know. So what skill will I grind first? The normal route usually involves Wintertide, but that trains multiple skills, so that's definitely a no. Maybe an Agility Rush, since it's such a useful skill with no barrier to entry. But oh, I see a big problem with the account already. My hit points start out at level 10. Leaving this skill at 10 for a large part of this account feels wrong to me, and I don't think emailing Jagex support to lower my hit points to level 1 would be very effective. So it looks like I'll be getting 99 hit points first. But that leads to another problem, since 99 hit points can't be trained through minigames like Soul Wars or Pest Control without higher combat, and there are no other really viable methods to train it outside of those. So instead of leveling to 99 hit points first, I'll be leveling a single combat skill to allow me to train 99 hit points. My first idea was to kill lots of men until I could do Pest Control for 99 strength, since melee doesn't require gold for ammo like the other combat styles. Range seemed like a viable option since it has relatively cheap ammo, but no auto pickup sounds pretty annoying. Magic initially seemed like the most annoying and least viable option due to the cost of runes. But then I realized you can actually get 99 magic pretty effectively with Arceus library book turn-ins. This also has the added bonus of me not leveling hit points at the same time as another skill, which would feel wrong for a 199 at a time account. With that settled, let's head over to the library. Here we are at the library. If you aren't familiar with this training method, you talk to one of the 3 people needing assistance at the bottom floor of the library to find out what book they need. Head upstairs and talk to Biblia to find the book's location. Locate the book and deliver for a book that grants you experience in either runecrafting or magic. This process is helped a lot by the default Current Library plugin in RuneLite, and would probably not be a very viable method to train magic without it. In practice, the plugin highlights all book locations, so you gather as many books along the route to your required book as you go. The books granted by this method give 2.75 times as much experience for magic compared to runecrafting, and leveling with this method is already a very popular way to get 77 runecrafting to unlock blood runes. At level 76 magic, it should be in the range of 90,000 magic experience an hour, and after that, it only gets better. This is pretty competitive with many other high-end magic training methods, and has no costs or benefits besides getting magic experience and unlocking the Arceus spellbook. I only have to deliver 13,689 books before I hit 99 magic. Should be easy, right? I decided to track my experience for an hour at level 22, and I hit level 40 in that time period. This translated to roughly 35,000 experience in an hour. Pretty impressive for such a low level. I kind of think this method was not initially intended to be so good, but the RuneLite plugin probably made this method 10 times more effective. If I had 99 agility before this grind, the experience rates would be quite a bit higher, but I have to take care of hit points first. I think the main challenge with this method will probably be that it requires a lot of attention compared to many other methods. With that said, it's time for 150 more hours or so of librarian roleplay. There's level 50 and level 60. level 70, and level 80, plus minus $7 from my first name change. That's 85, and my second name change for a grand total of negative $14. Level 90, and the halfway point at 92, currently getting 100 to 105,000 magic experience an hour, depending on how distracted I am. And there's level 98, I'm really close now. This is the level I was the least distracted, and ended up getting over 110,000 experience an hour for over 1 million experience in a session. And finally, here it is, after 148 hours in the library, the moment I've been waiting for. This grind was a bit rough at some points, especially when you would turn in a book, and the next turn, it would immediately ask for the same book, 4 times in a row. But the experience rates were fine, and I'm very happy to finish it off. Let's turn in my 13,689th book. There's 99 magic. The last time I got 99 magic on an account was way back in May of 2016 on my main Iron Man, so it's been quite a while. Having this as my first grind, and unlocking all those teleports from the Standard and Arceus spellbook is definitely going to be useful later, but I think the thing I'm most excited about is my 20k cash stack, which translated to 135 gold an hour from random events. Besides that, I really have no use for the magic skill cape at the moment, so I won't be getting that right now. Disappointing, I know. Speaking of cash stack, I'm gonna need some gold for my hit points grind. I'm sure you've all guessed that I'll be getting 99 hit points in pest control. My plan is to fire strike as little as possible to stay active, while also running my maxed Iron Man to speed up rounds. I should be able to nearly break even on my rune costs, since you get 10 gold per level when you complete a round. With that said, I really want to grind out some gold before I get the mage gear I'll be using, so I never have to leave once starting the grind. After weighing my options for gold, I decided to just go with gathering steel plate legs in the wilderness. Steel plate bodies are probably better gold, but I'm still 10 hit points and you run through many monsters in the lava maze to get to plate bodies. The trips would also take much longer compared to the method I'll be doing, with more competition. A full round trip of legs, I start in Alcarad with the gold from my previous trip, and buy a few kebabs for food nearby. Teleport to Ferox Enclave, and store the 17k from my previous trip in my coffer. I recover my run energy, run north, and roll top until I get a full inventory of plate legs. Then I run south a bit to home teleport, and sell 1 leg to the Lumber General Store so I can use the Alcarad gate. Then I go to the plate leg shop and sell them 5 at a time. This round trip only takes me about 11 minutes, and the home teleport timer is 30 minutes, so after this round trip I was just logging off and doing other things until the timer was up. When it's all said and done, I was getting close to 100k an hour of actual gameplay. This was the last round of plate legs I gathered, and I probably went a bit overboard and got nearly 300k cash with this method. Before I get my magic training gear, I'm going to do Witch's House. And there is 24 hit points from turning in Witch's House. And now for the full magic gear setup I'll be using during the hit points grind. Most of the things on this list are pretty self-explanatory. The magic amulet is easily the most tricky thing on this list to get, as I need to kill undead druids to obtain it. Undead druids have a large amount of hit points and big magic defense as well. They also attack at range for up to 22 magic damage, making them a tricky thing to kill on my low hit points account with no prayer. I'm not sure if anyone has ever tried to, or had a reason to try to safe spot them, but we'll get into that after I get the rest of the things on my list. First, I'll be doing Mage Arena 1 for the God Cape. I doubt I'll run into a PKer, but if I do, I'm pretty much instantly dead. Looks like no PKers today, and Collodian's dead. And that's the God Cape and a nice 48k alch from the staff as well. I went ahead and withdrew what I had earned from my steel plate legs and alching the God Staff earlier, and got the 10k from Stronghold of Security, putting me at a pretty respectable 327k cash stack. Now that I have a healthy cash stack, it's time to get all the things on my list. I was hoping to go for an anti-dragonfire shield, but there was only about 30 quest points worth of quests that don't give experience and skills, and I need 32 quest points to start Dragon Slayer. So instead I have to use the wooden shield. There's the pink hat and pink boots for some nice fashionscape, and the blue wizard robe, and Zamorak monk bottoms. I already got leather gloves and my staff when I did Witch's House earlier, so the only thing left on my list is the magic amulet. Obtaining a magic amulet is going to be a bit tricky, and I had to play around in my main for a while to figure out how to safe spot it. First I run into the middle of the spiders with my main to tank them, so my ultimate Iron Man can safely run past the area to the druid area. Then I go to this tile. It will be in range of the undead druid that I lure with my main, but the druid will not be able to reach me, so it will constantly be trying to run away from me into the wall. Then I lure the mage that spawns on this tile with my main into the other area. I also cast vulnerability with my main, as it does no damage, so it won't affect my ultimate getting the drop. After that I can attack it with my ultimate Iron Man freely, but during the process, I had a number of instances where the druid would kind of freeze in place, and it would eventually teleport back into its room. The behavior seemed similar to how knights will teleport if stuck on a single tile for too long while pickpocketing them, and after wasting around 800 Fire Strike casts, I ended up stopping damage every third of its hit points. Then I let my main cast a random curse on the druid, so the druid would attack my main and reset whatever its teleport timer is. After the first couple of kills, I decided to leave and do Imp Catcher for the Amulet of Accuracy, because I figured I would be there for a while and I needed all the accuracy I could get. That's Imp Catcher done and the Amulet of Accuracy obtained. Even with the Amulet of Accuracy and Vulnerability Curse, it takes between 150 and 200 Fire Strike casts to kill a single druid. And after 30 kills and around 6,000 Fire Strike casts, there is the Amulet of Magic. With that done, I now have all the gear I'll be using for my hit points grind. What a beast. I think it was worth getting the amulet since I'll be casting a ton of Fire Strikes, and even with this setup, I'll have to see how hard it is to keep my activity up so I don't get kicked out of pest control. With all that said, I think I'll conclude the video here. I'll be spending a lot of time in pest control for the foreseeable future. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear any feedback you have on the video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I hope to see you all next time.